Hello. 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 Yes, nobody expects Kink Vader. Nobody wants to expect Kink Vader. How are we doing? Are we well? I hope so. Yes, welcome to Hastily Cobbled Together stream idea, which I did mention last time and then forgot about and then remembered. So here we are. Yeah, it's Chill Stream. Hooray. Where we're going to be drawing the outliers as jobs from the Final Fantasies. Chillstream, yes. So, if I just pop over to my well-used and abused paper texture that I always use. Yes, so there's this website. I mean, there's a thing called the 4-Job Fiesta. Look it up, it's a sort of charity thing. Where you choose 4 jobs and then play Final Fantasy V using only those 4 jobs, which is cool. Which I might do with this, maybe, if I get good jobs. But, yeah, so what I'm going to do is there's a website that I now need to open in incognito mode, because I've already done it. You like Claudio? I'm glad you like Claudio. I've had Claudio as a character for about 8 years now, so it's nice to see him in something. Okay, so here we are. In fact, I had an old... Hang on, can I get that comic up? No. Here it is. This is a comic from 2013. Back in the day. Just Claudio finding a carrot, and then picking it up, and then having a chomp, and then not liking it particularly. And that's what it used to make comics back in 2013. There it is. So yeah, I've had that character for a while. It's nice for them to be in a thing. Very cute, and you want a plushie of him. I want to make one as well, but learning to do things and getting the right materials and all that sort of stuff. If I make one, I'll make you one. That's fine. He exists in the void, as all my old comics used to be. Yeah. So okay, well, I opened the thing. Where's the thing? Music. Let's do the Final Fantasy V soundtrack, because that's what this stream is about, kind of. So, yeah. Super Nintendo music. Hopefully that's not too loud. Maybe bring it down a bit. Maybe. You let me know. 99% of your drawings exist in the void. It's a busy place. It's a very busy place, but you have also drawn some very good backgrounds. I'm thinking of the background for the snake and the bird friend, the background of the recent thing you did with Parsley, etc. What am I doing? I'm looking for this. Aha! Finally, a thing to put on screen, almost.
My sons, attack the gates.
Attack the gates. Is that how you react to compliments, Chibi, eh? Attacking my gates? Honestly. Anyway, here's a website. So this is thinknathan.ca, which is not the same as Thank Nathan. I just typed in Final Fantasy V random jobs, and I got this. Aha, because you have to sign up for the 4-Job Fiesta, and we're not doing that. So, yeah, we're going to get 4 random jobs, 1 for each part of the game. And I'll allow Berserker and Mime, why not? Allow Advanced, I don't know what that means, sure, why not? And I'm going to have to draw the outliers in these forms, because why not? Bit of fun, isn't it? We have a Black Mage, always good, a Red Mage, a Ranger, cool, and an Oracle, I don't know what that is. So that's what we've got to deal with. Who's gonna be who? Hope Mal gets Mime. There is no Mime, unfortunately. Mal, I feel like Mal will be Red Mage, but I haven't seen... Oh, maybe Ranger might work. So Black Mages, let me give you the lowdown of what these look like. So the Black Mage's iconic image from the Final Fantasy series. Here are those from FF5. Wonderful high quality. Thank you, internet. There they are, with the big hats and the shadow faces and the eyes. It's an Oobs. Hello. It's a mage heavy team. I mean, the Red Mage can do some damage, I suppose. And the Ranger, not terrible, in the back row at least. So there's that. There was Red Mage. Is Red Mage... There's the water crystal. I thought you got that in the wind crystal. Red Mage. Got the cool snazzy hat, the red cloak. Neat look. Oh, that's pretty cool. So I'm thinking Malachi for that one. Probably. Stylish. It's the most stylish. Ranger. Okay, that'll... Someone's fan art. There's also a Ford Ranger, apparently. Otherwise I've been Final Fantasy, not be lazy. Oop, fucking spell. That's better. There's no real sort of cohesion. There's a bit of a vest going on, sort of Link-esque tunic. Bare legs? Looks like bare legs to me. This might have to be Malachi. Yeah, hat with a feather, etc. And the last one was Oracle? Does not ring a bell. Ooh. Got a bit of Gwendolyn going on here. Just draw a lonk, sure. I like the robe. The robe's cool. I'm seeing M in a swishy robe. So what have we got? Black Mage, Red Mage, Ranger, Oracle. I want to put M in swishy clothes, because she's always fun in swishy clothes. Loves a scarf, does M. You can't really do Stoic as a Black Mage, can you? Because it's all about the eyes. But then again, how would you do anyone as a Black Mage? I suppose it's just the clothing, it's just the outfit. You can do Stoic as a Black Mage. Grey Mage. Actually, Grey Mage is a thing in this, isn't it? Time Mage. Necromancer, indeed. Okay, so Oracle M. I guess Ranger Rufus. Red Mage Malachi. Plague Doctor. How many liberties are we going to take with this? There's the thing. Yeah, so they're the jobs we got to go with. So let's do some quick sketches to work out what on earth I'm doing. Ranger Rufus sounds like a children's program. It sounds like some sort of public service thing. Listen to Ranger Rufus and don't cause forest fires. All of them. I'm going to take every possible liberty. Yeah, so... I do not know where to begin. I haven't drawn anything today. The stream started a little bit late because I opened up Clip Studio just before the stream started, and it didn't wanna. So I had to restart the computer. Yeah, there's a circle-ish. We could do this sort of chibi things. Little chibi drawings of each character, I guess. Why do they have such flat faces? The official art, everyone's got a perfectly flat face. Sometimes it just doesn't want to, yeah. Welcome to the world of, well, computers in general. But I think you're going to doodle along some. Excellent, wonderful. Yeah, I don't know. So what was it? It was, yeah, Ranger Rufus? Maybe. Yeah. So generally speaking, what we need is wizardy, black magey sort of thing for Stoic, snazzy, cool, red outfit for Malachi. Going Robin Hood / Link for Rufus, and lots of robes and jewels for M. That's basically what I'm thinking. You're just thinking of what to doodle? Well, feel free to go to thinknathan.ca or ff5.thinknathan.ca and get your own group of 4 and then pick 4 of your characters and draw them. Yeah, I just don't know where to begin, really. I want to draw them together in like a scene, because I always draw back to the void. I always just draw people standing separately in a void, and I want to do something different. But I need to work out what the outfit is first. The easiest one's probably going to be Stoic, so I might as well start. You're going straight for a Lord of the Rings range of fashion in honor of your 10-year-old self. Cool. Sure, that's a thing. I know of the Lords and the Rings and the ones thereof upon. Golem's a thing. Right. So... I don't know, how do you draw Stoic? Stoic, I have discovered, is hard to draw in traditional media, because getting the angles in the right place the first time is hard. And I constantly look at it and go, right, if I just lasso that, and oh no, I'll do that. This is not, I don't need a particularly good sketch of this. Yeah, so this will just be design stage. For his arms. It doesn't particularly matter, it's just a sketch. Let's get it done. Jim. Who's Jim? I don't know. How we're getting back to this whole anatomy thing. I don't know how it works. Don't expect me to know how it works. This is my brain when I try and think about anatomy. You drawn Stoic once and know you love him, you won't ever draw him again. Fair enough. Absolutely understand. I've been drawing him for over a decade. I understand the pain. Watch the costume design parts of the making of Obsessively. You have had a oh, I love behind the scenes stuff. I've watched more behind the scenes things than I have things. So I absolutely understand that. Yeah, that's the size of a hand, sure. Stoic's a tricky one because you try and judge anatomy by a glance, but you're not looking at a head. You're looking at a mask on the front of a head, and all of your sense of perspective is and proportion is askew as a consequence. I just want to point out that the Final Fantasy V soundtrack is very good. My personal favourite of the pre-3D graphics FFs. However much that may be heresy to the Final Fantasy VI fans out there, who are very vocal. What was the site you're using again? I just typed in Final Fantasy V random job. But it's ffv.thinknathan.ca apparently. Or you can go to the 4-job Fiesta thing, but I think you have to sign up for that. Hang on. Oh, you can't even do it because apparently it's gonna pre-registration happens in 7 days. Apparently, it's a charity thing. Oh, they raised $16,000 last year. Good for them. For Child's Play, hooray! Charity. Put link in chat. Good idea. I do not have chat on this computer. I have it on my tablet next to my computer. I will type it out by hand. Give me a second. I think that's it. Hopefully this is not spam. Oh, I have to put an HTTP at the beginning, don't I? Up. This is very fiddly. Right, hopefully that's not a virus. Fingers crossed. What have I drawn? I hate it when I zoom out. Just in general, but in particular when I zoom out and see something like that. I don't need this in proportion. Let's just do something that looks... he's going to be wearing a robe, it doesn't matter. Which I want the sleeves to be eminent. Why am I doing folded arms? Okay, so there's a basic disproportionate stoic. I need to actually learn anatomy properly, don't I? I keep saying I need to and never doing it, and it just keeps coming up. Keeps coming up, doesn't it? Just don't worry about it. There will be robes. It's fine. There will be robes. Screw it. Give them more cartoony. Small legs, big head. No problem. There's a stoic. Right. Now there's a Rufus. Again, this is just sort of preliminary to get stuff to design the thing. And then we'll do like a little... We'll probably only sketch a little scene with the characters. And then I'll finish it at some point. Some point else. That's not a sentence. Anatomy is in the eye of the beholder. Is it? Is it though? The one thing I do want to learn is how to do, a better way of drawing eyes. Because the way I draw eyes is fine for the purposes of the outliers. But if you try and draw a person with those eyes, it never looks right. So I have to find a better way of doing it. Also, just drawing eyes in general would be nice. This is the great thing about M and Stoic, so you don't have to draw eyes. Ah, battle music. That'll do. We're just designing. It's fine. So yes, feel free to, if you're doing something similar or just drawing along, absolutely post bits and bobs as you're doing so. I like these to be like fun communal sort of things. Hey, what are you doing? What how's your drawing going, etc, etc. Hopefully better than mine. Look at this. What have I just drawn? Emma's the best character to draw out of the outliers because you can just draw a puff of hair. Absolutely. Also, she's just great. She's just fun to draw. Rufus is perpetually worried. He's looking pretty svelte there. I started singing the Jurassic Park theme, but here we are. So yes, how have people's weeks been? Because apparently it's the weekend. There. That's not an eraser. Might I start about redesigning Atlas? Ooh, exciting. Great thing about Atlas is because they can come from any possible universe. They can look like whatever. Again, it's just like what I need to do. Well, there's a lot of things I need to do, but what I need to do, I think, in particular, is learn to better draw while zoomed out. At least when it comes to getting proportions and stuff. Because I always zoom in and then zoom out and go, what? What did I just do? How? Why is that? That's awful. Like this. What's this arm? I don't know. What's going on there? That doesn't make any sense. These are just supposed to be quick quick drawings to get my eye in. This isn't supposed to be what I'm actually drawing. You'll want to make him more yours. His original design's pretty much standard Age of Mythology villager, which he's based off, but still. I mean, that's fair. Redesign characters all you like. And so I've had, I may have had Claudio for 8 years, but I've had October for longer, and they've been redesigned many, many times. So, redesigning characters is absolutely a fun thing to do. Fun design thing. I words. Do you words? I think I words. Sometimes I words. Did I mention I haven't drawn anything today? I'm not sure I have. Okay. You can always tell when I'm drawing Malachi because it's a lot smaller than everyone else. Here's the thing, if I did a playthrough of FF5, not on stream, it'd take ages, which of the characters would be which? Make them the outliers. I don't know if anyone here knows, or has played 5. I feel like Faris would be Mal. That's the only one I'm sort of sure of. Oh, why do I always do this? Galuf might be M? Probably, that makes sense. He does talk a lot, but there's no silent character. This doesn't look anything like Malachi. Now it does. Not familiar with Final Fantasy too much? That's absolutely fine. Yeah, familiar with Final Fantasy? Absolutely not. All you know is that there are Jessies, and that's about it. I never know how to draw Malachi's ears properly. It always ends up looking like an elf. Absolutely no, that's going to look terrible. Okay, that's fine. Cool. Saved it just in the nick of time. So many gestures. This is not one of the best examples of this soundtrack. This track is kind of annoying. But then again, if I had to write 50 pieces of music for a game every year, they're not all going to be great. I don't know why he's got his fingers out. What's with the tiny arms? What's going on? This bit's fun. Fun clavinet interlude. I should have done this before the stream, To be fair, there was a lot of stuff I should have done before the stream, but SoundCloud did not want to cooperate. By the way, I made a piece of music. Well, I didn't make it. Well, I did, but I didn't write it. Cover. SoundCloud. From a game called Kingsfield, which was a very, very early game by From Software, who then went on to make Dark Souls. And games with better music, kind of. If you want to have a listen at that, one of my normal, boring rock covers. They all sound the same. It has the imaginative, fantasy-laden title, Big Mine. Love it. Should I play a Final Fantasy on stream at some point? Is that a thing I should do? Make a change from Dark Souls, I guess. I played it at the beginning of the stream, if that helps. Yeah, that's a Mal. Sure, why not? And an M. So this is exactly what I didn't want to happen. 4 people standing in a void, no interaction. Again, this is just for the purposes of design. Depends how many characters are called Jesse in my playthrough. What game can you name the most characters? 6, I guess. I don't want to play 6. The card game? There's a card game? It's like Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, okay. This is how anatomy works. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Don't at me. I get very self-conscious. Oh, Final Fantasy specific. You don't. Oh, yeah. So, what Final Fantasy can you name the most characters in? It's not 10. You can only name 1 character in 10. That's it, Chris. Draw all the guidelines and then ignore them. That works. I hope you're writing all this down. The one thing about M, when writing longer narratives, is that M tends to get kind of left out of a lot of stuff, because she can't speak, or she doesn't speak. So she sort of ends up, in a sense, being separated from the story, but also having her own story. She's off doing her own thing. So yeah. She ends up being one of the most important characters in the story I'm working on, but also not really involved. Weird like that. Also, she has no neck. Don't worry about that. The lasso tool will help us. M's like, I kind of accidentally stumbled upon an interesting writing exercise with these 4 characters. It's like, you've got someone who doesn't want to do anything, someone who wants to do anything but nothing, someone who can't speak, and somebody who does nothing but speak. And it's like, what do you do with these? How do you make them do stuff? What I ended up working out was you make them do stuff by forcing them to do things that they don't want to do. That is not a terrible hand. The arm is the wrong length, but sure. It's fine, don't worry about it. Okay, that's where the hand is, that's where the elbow is, so it's gonna go like... Sure. Yeah, that kinda works. Yep, that's absolutely how a leg would work. Don't worry about it, it's fine. Right, okay. Enough procrastination. He says procrastinating. Right. Now what was it? It was Black Mage, Red Mage, Ranger, Oracle. So, Black Mage. Let's do a different colour. Dangerous. The big hat is a necessity for a Black Mage. Does it have to point up? Or can we have it? The big old floppy one. Love me a big old floppy hat. Okay. Now, Black Mages, generally speaking, just sort of wear cloaks, yeah? So let's see if we can find something more interesting than... Look at what they are in the base game. Which is... Okay, there is a bit of variety going on. I love... There's a character in Final Fantasy V with a beard. And it's just sticking out. It's just there. That's what a Black Mage looks like with a beard, turns out. Okay. I'm thinking sort of... What about a big collar of some description? Some sort of chain or clasp or something holding it together. I don't know. I mean, we could just make that a cloak. They glued that on, yes. That's just stuck on. It's just a little bit of blue tack. Good cloak. There's going to be enough cloth going on here as it is. Because usually it's just like sort of like a long sort of drape, so the sleeve just sort of carries on down like that. Which could work. Saves me the bother, I guess. I'm trying to think, like, what makes this stoic? I want things to be square. What would make this particularly stoic? Shoulder pads. How do you do a cloak with shoulder pads? A tie. Yeah, sure, why not? Fantasy tie. There you haven't watched a lot of anime. Yeah, that's true. The tie is just a way of taking a piece of cloth, wrapping it around the neck in order to fix something in place. To tie it in place. Just because Stoic happens to use a traditional half Windsor or whatever. Are we going for the long sleeves? Maybe, maybe not. I kind of I kind of like the idea that the hat just sort of flops around a lot, so he ended up just clipping it in place somewhere. But I'm not sure how to do that. So the hats in FF5 are a little bit more sort of conservative with regards to the flop. They are pretty much just sort of like that. Which feels more stoic actually, a bit sharper, a bit more. The more I think about it, the more like Black Mage Stoic would just wear a suit. They just find a suit somewhere, somehow. It's dark, hello! You escaped your brother-in-law's ramblings to have food now. Food! Marvellous. There is part of me that wanted to make just like, hey, what if I take these jobs and then make modern outfits for that sort of thing? But I'm not good with modern outfits, so I thought I'd take off his clothes and it's just a suit. How about a pinstripe cloak? I feel like it wouldn't have the flop. It'd have the cape, but it probably wouldn't have the floppy sleeves. But then would you have the big collar? I'm deleting everything so far. I might have a sort of Victorian sort of collar. What about a short cloak? I don't really know what the difference is between a cloak. A cloak goes all the way around, doesn't it? It goes sort of from there, like a cape. A cloak can envelop you. A cape is just on the back. So I guess it's got to be sort of somewhat. I like the idea of the tie, but not. Ah, this is harder than I thought it would be. Also, the hat would definitely be lower. Also, hello, Duck. We are drawing, or attempting to draw, the outliers as 4 characters, 4 jobs from Final Fantasy V as randomly chosen at the start of the stream. So we have a Black Mage, a Red Mage, a Ranger, and an Oracle, which I'm trying to work out how to do that. I feel like a belt will be involved. Nomura would be pleased. But only one. Go for the sort of fantasy baggy trousers. Big boots. Big boots. Fantasy Stoic is just Victorian gentleman. Yeah. It'd be much more comfortable in Victorian garb, but I don't know, what's the footwear of a black mage? Shoes. Aren't red mage and black mage the same bar their colour preference? Not at all. A red mage is stylish. They got pointy hats, and feathers, and cloaks and capes, and lace-tied stripper boots. Now that's a Malachi thing. Which will go well with the red mage, actually. Baggy pants are a fancy thing, but consider leggings. Stoic with leggings? Not sure. What defines a stripper boot? It's attached with Velcro, so it comes off easy. I don't know, Stoic is proving to be the more difficult one, so I'm going to move on for a second. Okay, Ranger Rufus. Again, it's just sort of Link, Robin Hood sort of thing. Oh yeah, I keep getting Ford Ranger. Not interested in trucks. Most uncomfortable Ranger, absolutely. Rufus is not happy outside. Which is kind of why I wanted to go with that. Okay, so we've got the hats of some description. They're not easy to draw, these hats. In my experience, I can never remember how they work. Like that-ish, sort of. It's like a tricorn, but not really. I hope that helps. I remember doing it a lot in the SSS Wonder Song comic. That looks terrible. Stripper boot Velcro thing just sunk in and you're disappointed. What? It's convenience. If I was a stripper and I had to wear boots, long boots, they would not be difficult to take off. Let me tell you. Yeah, I'm trying to think how does, because a lot of these hats, the brim is just, hey, what if it just sort of carried on, but then we pinned it up somewhere. Hence the tricorn hat. It's just a flat round hat, and you take 3 points and pin it up like that, and then you get the thing that sort of, it's up there, and it's up there, and it's up there, and you have to learn how to draw it. That's not a tricorn. You get the idea. Okay, he's got the hat. He got it from a fancy dress shop. It's usually some sort of waistcoat. That, like, I imagine barely fits. Ah, this is coming from experience. Waistcoats that barely fit. Oh no. tighter than that, wouldn't it? Tighter notch system. Is it going to be the bow-wielding ranger or one of those show-off with 2 weapons? Probably bow. Stay out of harm's way as much as possible. Rufus is not a show-off. Rufus is a run-off. Crossbow? No, that's more like it. Less effort. Well, not less effort, but like... You don't have to hold back the bow and aim at the same time and all that sort of stuff. All the effort's put into beforehand. And then once you've wound it all up, all you've got to do is aim. Compartmentalise your problems. Yeah, that looks terrible. Don't worry about it. I hope those of you who are drawing along are doing a much better job than me. Do you think Rufus would be more comfortable with the crossbow? Not extremely comfortable, but more. More, yeah. Fully auto crossbow with a box on top that drops the bolts down. That's Final Fantasy VI. You're taking a lot of liberties. Fantastic. I use these things as, like, starting points, as it were. That's not going to be... It's going to make it long sleeve. I was watching a thing, a composer I follow, Guy Mitchell Moore, and he does lots of things of like, hey, how to get started writing music, because it's always, starting is always the hardest part. And he says, how about if you get some dice, 6-sided dice, just label 6 notes on a keyboard or whatever, roll the dice, and then whatever order they come up, that's your melody. You've got to work with that. And if at any point you start playing and go, one of those notes isn't quite right, change it, because the task here was not to write a melody with those notes. The task was to get you to start writing, and that's what this is about. So if I have to change anything, I will. Ah, no, yeah, that wasn't. Well, my thing was not kind. Art fridge. Here we go. Ooh. You see, it's like, okay, Exhibit A and Exhibit B. It's like, oh dear, I've got so much practice to do. Never compare yourself to a noob sketch. I know. Look how messy it is, though. Yeah, but look how you can ascertain exactly everything that's going on. Gesture, emotion, posture, the position of the camera / viewer. Ah! It's great. Stop being great, but keep being great. What am I doing? That's a very good question. Why do I have 2 things open? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, the trousers. The thing is, the art style of this game, or the art style of the art of the game, is such that they are mostly not legs. So there's not much detail put into the bits that are legs. So there's probably going to be some sort of strappy thing going on. Lots of straps, lots of supplies and arrows and all these sorts of things. Rufus would be very over-prepared. Actually, you know what Rufus would be? Rufus would turn up with 70 different types of arrow and bolt for every possible eventuality, but would forget to bring a bow. That's what Rufus would do. This is my garlic arrow. I know there are going to be undead here somewhere. Just toss the arrow yourself, easy. This is assuming Rufus has any upper body strength whatsoever. Bless him. Another belt? Nah. Maybe, but not like a kind of decorative sort of. That's not how you do that. That's also not in perspective. Doesn't matter. There's the thing. It's probably sort of got a knife just in case, you never know. Mostly just to cut arrows out of things. Gotta get the arrow back, it's not gonna be wasteful. Most well prepared, at least prepared ranger ever, absolutely. Here's all the things you don't need. So why do I keep putting turn sleeves on these things? Get some gloves going on. Yeah, I don't really know what to do for sort of trousers and stuff. They got the whole sort of long tunic thing going on here. Strappy sort of boots. I was thinking, is this like this sort of chocobo theme? Is this the only motif to make it all the way through every Final Fantasy game? Because they dropped the prelude after a while, didn't they? I don't think 8 had the prelude. If they ever drop the Chocobo theme, you will abandon the franchise and burn them to the ground. That's fair enough. That is a measured response. The measurement was far too high, but it was measured. A measurement occurred. Some things are worth committing arson for, yeah. It's better to do it there. I don't know how shoes work. I'm not a cobbler. Chocobos and Mogs are constant? Are there Mogs in 8? Googles? There's a card of one. Yes? I don't remember seeing. Still counts. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. I suppose I guess they're just in a video game in 7. So. There's a summon in 8 called Minimob. Is there? That escaped my knowledge. There are Moogle units in some of the Final Fantasy Tactics games. That's fair. It's pretty generic, isn't it? How can I make this? Do you know what Rufus would have? Rufus would have some sort of, like in this world, some sort of fur-like thing. Some sort of fur-lined something or other. If he's going to be a hunter of ranger or some description. He wouldn't kill it himself. He'd just find it dead in the forest of old age or something. You know, West not, want not. So how to... I put that on the boots as well. Fluffy boots. The boots with the fur, as I believe the song refers to them. I do need to play Final Fantasy Tactics at some point. Is there any way of playing them on PC or Steam or whatever? He probably he would end up just sort of being a pack mule, and he would be carrying all sorts of bits and bobs. That's what it's going to be. Just lots and lots of. There's emulators. Ah, true. I always like trying to find some sort of legitimate means first. That said, these are very old games. Also, I'm terrified of getting caught. That said, I have perfectly legitimate copies of Final Fantasy V to play, but I have also got a ROM version, which I got from my discs, because I have it for PlayStation 1, which I used a randomizer on, because you can randomize Final Fantasy V. Yes, you can. If you have a physical copy of the game, I think it's fine to emulate. There's no legal precedent for that, but there's a slight thing of like you can theoretically create, I don't know, legally fine, get the ROM for the thing off the disc for the purposes of making like backups and stuff. Emulating, getting the BIOS for the emulator is problematic. It's the only way to play some games now. True, I mean, most of the time it's just, if there's no other way of playing it, they're not going to come after you, are they? Gloves with the fur, yes. And I'm not against emulation or anything like that. There's a lot of misinformation about this sort of thing out on the internet, and I'm scared people are going to get punished for things they didn't know was wrong. Well, they didn't know were illegal. Copyright's a weird thing. It's never clear. If it was clear, people wouldn't be able to abuse it. Shoulder straps. What would be on these? That sort of like satchels or something, little carrying all the healing items. Because we don't have a healer in this part. I don't know what does an oracle do. I don't even know what an oracle does. We're definitely not going to be able to get around to drawing a scene, are we? Oh, the cookies, go away. Cookies! Oracle's a job in the Game Boy Advance, mobile, and Steam versions. That's why I don't know it. Yeah. It's the strongest mage job, boasting the highest magic power, but it requires secondary commands to reliably damage enemies with the unpredictable nature of its condemn and predict commands. Like, you're getting into metagaming. I don't even know what this does. Abilities. Oracles have the highest magic power. Condemn becomes faster as the job levels. I don't even know what Condemn does. Stop telling me how these things evolve when I don't know what they are. This wiki is terrible. Okay, so Condemn. What? Okay, they just have like roulette attacks, I guess? Roulette magic? Healer, based on your RPG knowledge, to heal and buff the parties normally at a cost to themselves. It doesn't explain this very well. Final Fantasy fandom wiki, you're terrible. Soothsayers who can predict natural disasters and direct them at foes. Isn't that a geomancer? Oh, this one's even worse. Just tell me what it is. I don't care about used cars for sale. You can keep your Ford Oracle. Right. Steam wiki, let me know. Inform me. Cannoneer. That must be a new one. I've never heard of that. Malachi would love that. Oracle. No commands condemn, but oracles have. This is the same thing. You've copied and pasted this. This is terrible. All wikis are terrible. Oracle sell cars, sure. We'll go with that. Let's say they walk around with the Wheel of Fortune, and you get Doom, and you get Payday, and you get Life, sure. I had planned to do the quick sketches and then draw a scene, and we're halfway through the stream, over halfway through the stream at this point. So that's not going to happen. Sorry about that. Costume designing takes time. Is this costume design? I'm just sticking things on him. What else? What else would a ranger need? Which wiki is this? All of them. I checked all of them and they're terrible. Oh dear. Hang on. What? Is it sacrilege to to cap that off? I just thought of that. This is a sort of funny image. That feels more like studied. Like it originally, it had a really long point, and it was like, nah, cutting that off. Okay, that's good. Are you thinking what makes sense for their characters? Your costume designing? I suppose, yeah. I don't know. I consider that the bare minimum for drawing a thing for characters I have been drawing for over a decade. The long brim with that hat is just really funny. I mean, it's just, you know, protect yourself from the sun. Black mages are allergic to sun. We know this. I'll add more stuff on that later. Mal, right. It's like a bonnet. It is really, isn't it? Okay. Red mage. I'm pretty sure there isn't a Ford red mage. Funnily enough, red mage hat's not far off that. They're a bit fedora-ish. No, that's a cowboy hat. Never known quite how to draw. Your hair's gonna get in the way, sorry, Mel. How does hat work? How does hat? How does anatomy? How does everything work? Here we go! Yeah! Now we get into the good stuff. Good old Gilgamesh. Have you drawn Snake Lady Ranger yet? Or a Robo friend? Oh, you're talking to Jimmy. So it's got there, so it's like a cool sort of asymmetrical sort of cape sort of thing, which is very much up Mal Street. All this loose. Okay. Let's turn that down. You're gonna morph your existing Gorgon Medusa character into your new Snake Lady Ranger, so partially. Okay. What else with Mao? Mao with the big boots. I mean, Rufus has already got pretty big boots. But, always go for a Cuban heel. I'll sort that out in post. Don't worry about it. Thigh highs? I mean, coming out the boots, or thigh high boots. I don't know. How do thigh high boots work? Because like you have knees. How do they work? Soft bendable materials. That doesn't. How do pants work? My shoes tend not to be made out of cotton. Not usually all leather in the back. I guess that makes sense. I always forget how to do. Malachi, if there's one thing having a character like Malachi helps you with, it's drawing things you have previously never thought about. Like, how do heels work? I don't know. This is not my area. Don't question how things work when it's aesthetic. I mean... Then I started looking up how boots do when you draw. You had to draw them. You had to draw parsley in boots. Yes. Also, how far up the thighs did they go? Are they like leather trousers at that point? I'm gonna have to look up. See, I'm gonna have to look up leather boots now. Leather thigh-high boots, and I blame you for the consequences. They're not thigh-high, they go up to the knee. Yeah, a lot of these just look like, hey, we found some bin bags and we attached them to high heels. Need a bit better than that, come on. Also, such high heels. I've always imagined that Malachi would actually be really bad in terms of balance on high heels, that's why he wears Cuban heels. The only consequence you will know is fashion. Questioning why I'm not more prepared at this point. I guess I should know. And it is Malachi, so it's like, I don't really have a say in it. So many times I've drawn Malachi and I'm like, what are you wearing? And I've drawn it! Some of the FFT games have iOS and Android ports, but no PC, which doesn't surprise you. The old Dragon Quest games have the same problem. Okay. I mean, I'm surprised we got... Because I'm playing 3 at the moment, which is what gave me this idea. And I'm playing the DS remake, but that's on Steam, and they put it on Steam for some reason. I don't know why they did. I'm glad they did. Okay, so we've got sort of like... We can do the sort of standard shoe fare of having the front bits, but long. What if but long? And what you could do, actually, hang on, if I bring them down slightly. Again, I'm no shoesmith, but you only tie them up to the knee, then the freedom of the tongue should give you the ability to bend your knees. Anywho, bear in mind that this is pretty much all going to be red. The red mage is not a subtle class. Front. Not sure how this works. I guess something things like that. You can stop. I'm covering the secrets of thigh-high boots live. It's like sort of reverse engineering. I know these things exist, and I have to work out how. It'll probably be a tighter weave than that. Weave? Crisscross? I don't know. Actually, easiest way to do that is just on out the points in advance, I guess. And thence join them up like that. Roughly in perspective. Very roughly in perspective. Just for fashion. Another strap around the side. Maybe undone. Ooh, lewd. That doesn't look right at all. Foot, what are you? What are you doing? Explain yourself. This is why I need to draw things more structurally, rather than fake an outline until it works. There was no line there, so let's use that as this. That. So what about the rest then? Because the red mage, typically big old cloak. Lots of stuff hidden under the cloak, by the looks of it. Ooh. It's Final Fantasy 14. I was going to say that looks like too high quality to be the old games. It's a neat design, though. Maybe it's something like that, sort of, almost sort of corset-esque. Yeah, would Malachi wear a corset for more than 5 minutes? There's a question. Maybe for fashion. Sure, let's go for it. I like sort of let's get that in it, but down the side is where. More crisscrosses. something down a bit closer. Make it look like it's not sort of structural, it's just decorative. I know what I'm trying to do. Probably a skirt, to be honest. It's a bit high up now. Let's have that going down, just for... Probably long gloves as well, to be honest. I reckon they'd be kind of fancy gloves. Maybe something about them, some sort of embroidery or leather working or something. Get old Beth to design them. I haven't said anything for a while. But then again, do I need to? That's the question. Constant fear of dead air. Not truly a streamer until you have that. Could be sort of a smaller sort of thing. Sort of ends there. Then there's some sort of. It's really making you want to redesign a character. Fantastic. Anything I can do to inspire people, even if it's just I can do better than that. As well, you can. But you're also too distracted right now. I mean, you don't have to do it right now. Just keep that inspiration flowing. Write ideas down. If you can't draw them. Then end up with a massive folder full of notes. Like me. See, here's the thing. What would Malachi be wearing under that? Probably not a lot. Just a simple sort of vest sort of thing, I think. I don't know, Malachi's weird. It's like flamboyant, but at the same time sort of... I don't know. Restaurant... Yeah, I don't know. Mal's weird. I'm weird. I don't know. How do corsets work? Again, have I ever drawn a corset? Probably not. Okay, we'll just go with a higher corset then. You just drew a slutty Spanish Inquisitor. I can't... Oh, come on. Come on! Honestly. For some reason, Catbot does not like the phrase Spanish Inquisitor. Terrible. Do show, unless you have already shown, in which case I'm behind. Oh, I missed that. Ooh. Look at them funky friends. Spanish Inquisitor is problematic, slutty is not. That's fair. The Spanish Inquisition was not a great time. You drew that, then got distracted with Strim. I mean, nothing's happening. Feel free to not get distracted. I feel like this would be Malachi's starting outfit, and then as the adventure wore on, he'd just pull more things out because he gets frustrated at them getting caught in trees and bushes and stuff. So he really enthusiastically put it together at the start of the adventure, and then by the end, most of it's gone. Oh, I didn't do the thing again, did I? Okay. And that's the first, that's the end, there's the middle, so... Right. This is the problem when you you do local perspective. So you're like, okay, well, this knee, do it in that perspective. Oh no, by down here it's in a different perspective, but that doesn't make a lot of sense unless we are down. This is where the camera is, which doesn't make any sense. Maybe Mixer doesn't want people suspecting the Spanish Inquisition. That's one of my favourite facts, is that the Spanish Inquisition gave you, I think, a month's notice or something like that. might have just been a week's notice, but still. More than Monty Python would have us believe. How did I... This is what happens when you draw without structure. Anyway, let's get on with these. No. A week's notice before the yeah, I think so. That doesn't help. $30 days, I think. When the Inquisitors arrived in a particular area, they would announce an Edict of Grace. This was a 30-day period in which secret Jews could voluntarily come forward, confess their sin, and do penance. This was also time with for others with information about Christians practicing Judaism in secret to make it known to the tribunal. Those found guilty after the 30 days elapsed could be burned at the stake. So, yeah, kind of like a, hey, we're here, and we're going to give you a month to, you know, give yourself up, or whatever. Maybe they're really good pay so as to avoid doing any actual work. But, don't know. I imagine there's a lot of admin in Inquisitioning. Okay, so this is the basic. I say basic, this is not a basic outfit, is it? Mal's weird. I don't know how to... what's going on with Mal's outfits. Corset and thigh-high boots, honestly. Now, Oracle. Oracle. As far as I can ascertain, it's just sort of funky robes and scarves and all that sort of stuff, which is great. A job that sells cars. It's basic Mal. No, basic Mal is just, you know, simple sort of top and skirt and tights, and that's it. Like, that's basic Mal. And that's how I draw Mal most of the time, because it's easy. What? Okay, so there's like... Where's my colour gone? Give me my colour. God demands strict paper discipline and receipts for all confession devices. So lots and lots of scarves. Them like scarves. Which is a problem when they get to the fire temple. Oops, all scarves. Oh, more things. More things! Again, I can't click on chat, so... Ooh! 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 How did we end up drawing something very similar? Only yours is better, obviously. Because it has, you know, proportion. In hindsight, you just drew a pirate. Ah, that makes a lot of sense, though. If Malachi is Faris... That makes a lot of sense. Varys is a pirate. Heads up. Spoilers! Spoilers for the first 5 minutes of Final Fantasy V. What else? Apart from scarves? I probably should have done the scarves last. Yeah, so there's lots of sort of... It's like a weird sort of jewellery headband thing going on. Apparently that's a prerequisite for an oracle. Ooh. We're on this bit of the soundtrack, are we? So Final Fantasy V is weird. I was about to talk about its final boss, that's spoilers. But it's just strange. Like, I don't know. It's like they were like, we don't really know what we're doing with these stories, so let's just try anything. It feels like a parody of a Final Fantasy game. And that's great, I love it. Definitely not taking itself too seriously. You just Google the class plus Final Fantasy, go from there out. Absolutely cool, yeah. That's just Final Fantasy in a nutshell. I mean, they were, in the original games, they were kind of trying. But by 5, they'd sort of given up. They're like, whatever. The placement of the eyebrows that Jewel would be nearly over her eyes. I mean, yeah. Yeah. I made it smaller. Also, they do have that's not fully dual, is it? It's like this, and then some sort of motif around it. Their old eye thing, third eye. I don't know how that pattern's going to work. I drew M with an eye for once. Just one. M has eyes. I'm afraid to say. They are under there somewhere. Yeah, it's kind of got sort of... I do like the baggy trousers suggestion. It's currently wrapped up in scarves at the moment. Baggy trousers. Big old harem? That's... I don't know. I always get the bit wrong. There's a lot of long, swooshy lines in this one, and it's difficult to work out what's what, because I have not made it clear. Once there's colour and stuff, it's not so bad. They got the low crotch. Okay. That's part of the scarf, isn't it? I was right first time. Don't worry about it. Or I was less wrong first time. There's not really a lot to go on here, is there? There's a temptation to tie up her hair, but I have drawn her hair, so... Give her some jewels. No, where? Knowing him, she just sort of tie stuff from her hair. Got to jingle with every step, absolutely. I suppose there's, are we going for that sort of whole sort of slightly sort of Middle Eastern / Northern African sort of feel? The northeast Africa, that kind of thing. Because that kind of looks like what they're going for with the Oracle in the game. Sort of. The classic fantasy Eastern style. Yeah, I know not enough about these things to be able to... Always wary when I try and take from a culture I do not understand well. What was I doing there? Let's have one going down this way, since I can't remember. We can just have it going along there, and then the rest of it can be... So hang on, I'm going to start colouring in darker the scarves. Actually, the other way around, probably. Scarves will be lighter. Doing this for easy visual reference. Or easier visual reference, anyway. Etc, etc. 'Twas ever thus. Yeah, I don't know. What makes this sort of more M? I don't know. Slippers? That's not how that foot would go. She'd probably wear sandals. Flip-flops, yes. Sure, go with that. With jewels on them. None of these jewels are real. They're all plastic. It's looking a bit bland, this outfit at the moment. There's just basically puffy jumpsuit with scarf and lots of baubles. Now how can we add more dynamism to it? It seems to have sort of stuff hanging off here, which is quite nice. There, we could have that going over. They do appear to have capes of some description. Not sure why. M's cape consists entirely of scarves. This is a nightmare to animate. You take this to the 3D designers and you have to model this and animate it for all possible situations. And they say, no. She's the only one without a hat. It's a bit of a shame. Yeah, just no. Would you have that sort of... This is a separate thing, so there's like a kind of tunic thingamy. Difficult to show in this particular way. Or maybe we can have that as a separate thing. Maybe that can be... even darker. Oh no. There. Again, this is not how you colour. This is just for the purposes of indicating what bit of cloth is attached to what. So that kind of long tunic-y thing with the sort of... And then you can have like designs or things going down there. And more baubles. More jingles. How about the massive hat that the Pathfinder Oracle has? Let's have a look. Hmm. That's an impressive bit of headgear. And I'm not going to try and draw it. It must have sneaked somewhere and every step is just jingle, jingle, jingle. Yeah, she doesn't get noticed, yeah. That sounds about right. We'll send Emin. She doesn't say anything, so she'll be the quietest. All the way. Must have been the wind. Oh, gotta love that. Okay, you can do something with that, with like a little bit more detail with regards to like some patterns on the stuff. More detail than that, obviously. Like sort of, oh, look, here's a seam. Do some stuff on here. Again, I will continuously kowtow to the superior design chops of Oobs and Weird and all you lot who actually know what you're doing. I don't think about these things. I only think about them when I push myself to do so. It just constantly sounds like a wind chime and it doesn't get addressed even once. Absolutely. The game maker did not intend for that to happen. It needs to be sort of even more being like conservative with the bagginess of these things. I forgot we didn't actually do anything with Stoic, did we? It's fine, don't worry about it. Simple clasp here. Ooh, there's that. The main theme of Final Fantasy, or whatever it is. That didn't survive particularly long, did it? No. Probably a buckle. I like the idea of the perfectly square cape. That's quite nice. Everything very... an unusual style for a black mage, but there you go. How about gloves? Ah!
My sons, attack the gates.
Oh no! I'm being hosted. Thank you, Try. He casts restraining orders. I feel like there's a lot going on here. There's a lot. The characters go off and go, oh, wasn't that a fun battle? We sure did show them what for. And then Stoic just sort of stays behind and starts putting on gloves and taking out sort of black bags, and you don't see what actually happens. Stoic gets stuff done. How many streams are you auto-hosting that it takes 2 hours to get to Chris's stream? I mean, if somebody's streaming for 2 hours. I stream for 2 hours. It just means somebody else is streaming in the same sort of time as me. You am suspect. Another castle with staves and wands. Stoic's got a smart briefcase. Stoic's got like a... Stoic just got a mobile phone and contacts. That's what Stoic has. I do like this hat though. What a weird bunch. So there you go, there's exactly the thing I said I wouldn't do. 4 people standing in a void, not interacting with each other. More things from these characters soon. I am working on comics, don't worry. Oh dear, I've got a new work schedule. Things should work out nicely now. And I should also get more stuff done in my spare time, because organising things based on my own foibles rather than vague ideas. Yeah, I don't know. Do we want to... Those of you who support me on Patreon, would you be interested in seeing, like, page by page, the new Outliers thing, or do you want to wait till it's done? Because, like I say, it'll probably get done in, like, August, September, sometime like that. But it might spoil it to do it page by page, because it's sort of like a story that... It's a short story, it's not that long. But, I don't know. Anywho, enough of that. Etc, etc. We have tomorrow some more Sekiro. You don't know what's best. I remember when I was doing After Dusk that it lessened the impact of the things that came together in the end to have it like a page released every week, because you by you know, week 27 you'd forgotten what happened on week 2, you know. Whereas if you're just reading them all in a row, then it's sort of, I don't know. Why am I dropping so many frames? I'm not doing anything. That said, I do have 7 browser windows open. Got to reread the story every week. That's fair. If the one after this is the Stanley Parable one, then I will have to release that in one go, because it's a choose your own adventure thing. But you know, with a narrative, maybe you can get away with it. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Anywho, yes, Sekiro tomorrow. We completed the stream. I can close all that now, can't I? Yes. Sekiro tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed the little chilled out stream of Outlier fits. Thanks for accompanying me on Chillstream and for sharing the things you're doodling, because it's very cool. Oh, hello. See, that's not the picture I saw. I've just seen that. I presume that's the oracle. Yeah, that was more ostentatious than the picture I saw. Quite significant. Also, very good toe strength. My word. Anywho, yes, thank you for coming along. Sekiro tomorrow. Citadel of Chaos on Tuesday. Hopefully, nothing will go wrong this time. Yeah, and we'll carry on doing stuff. In general, we'll just carry on doing stuff. Like, no promises it'll be good, but it'll be stuff. Have a wonderful time, everybody. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy the remainder of your weekend. I hope it's good. Goodbye.